Hi guys, my name is Majid, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a video review of this. This is Carly's OBD adapter that allows programming, diagnostics, and a bunch of other cool things, but it's for the Volkswagen Auto Group. So it supports manufacturers such as Volkswagen, Audi, Seat, and Skoda. So it's really helpful. In the past, I've done a review on Carly's BMW Adapter, and that thing was fantastic while I had it with my car. I was able to do quite a lot of DIY projects because of the fact that I had control over the onboard computer and I was able to reset code. So it saved me quite a lot of money, and it helped me out as well as it allowed me to understand what was going on with the car. So these things are quite fantastic. One thing to keep in mind though, it's a two-pronged purchase. So you purchase the application via Amazon or the official website, and you also have to purchase the application. They'll allow you to get the download for free as well as do a trial run. But other than that, if you want to unlock the full version, there is a cost. I believe for this I paid around $60 Canadian for an Android application. So before we begin the review, just keep in mind the total cost of the Carly OBD adapter goes up to about $100, but it will save you a lot more than that in the long run. So without further ado, let's begin the review. Alright guys, so when you have your device connected, you want to get in your car, make sure that you have some sort of mobile device that you can use to connect via Bluetooth to the actual OBD adapter. In this case, I'm going to show you guys using my mobile phone. Alright guys, so when you have everything connected and ready to go, you should see a check mark beside the connected spot, and that's basically a very good sign. So from there, you'll be able to go through the various options available. So let's go through it one at a time. The first thing we'll look at is diagnostics. From here, it basically has all the control modules, and it goes through 24 out of 24, and you can run a simple diagnostics. So you know what, let's do that right now. And as you can see, it goes through them pretty quickly. Right now it's got 10 out of 10 ECUs answered, 0 faults. Although I know that this car most likely will pick up 1 or 2 faults. There's some ongoing things, but that was picked up by the OBD11 application that I used, but let's see how good this is in comparison to that. Alright, so 2 faults in total. Let's take a look and see what they are. So if I go into faults, there's a system fault, and this is basically the TPMS sensor warning. I have it disabled for this car, so that's what's coming up, but that's okay. I kind of expected actually. And then there's a body fault. So this particular fault is known to me, and it's basically the central locking unit. Basically, my rear door for some reason sometimes has intermittent issues of locking and unlocking. But as you can see, it's pretty awesome. You can see the fault codes right there, and it goes through everything else exactly how you'd expect something like this to go. And then if you click on the little red exclamation mark right beside the actual fault, it'll bring up the amount of times that you've experienced this fault and more information about the particular vehicle and the fault itself. So as you can see, this car is quite high kilometers, and that's probably something to do with the malfunctioning electronics, but that's pretty okay. The other thing you can do is send all the details that you've picked up for all the faults to you via email. This is super awesome because if you don't know what's being picked up, you can look at it at a later time and research about it on Google or whatever else. So extremely helpful. So from that point of view, so far so good. For diagnostics, this also has a function for used cars. So if you're going to pick up a car and you want to know what's been done to it, go into here and it's going to read all the computers, see if there were any changes made, those kind of things. Super awesome if you don't know the history of a car very well. You can see if they've adjusted the kilometers, the mileage, anything along the lines of fraud that can be manipulated via electronic control modules. Hopefully it'll do a good job of picking it up, but I'm hoping I don't get anything back in this particular check. Alright guys, so it took quite a long time for the VAG check to go through, but it's completed. So let's take a look at the values right now. The first thing it'll pick up is the VIN identification number, and you can compare that to your actual documentation to see if it's correct, but overall that's very good. And my mileage is actually showing correct, so that's awesome. And then you have information about the actual airbags, how many times that they've deployed, so they would have come up here. The status of my car is clean, so that's pretty awesome to see that nothing has happened. And then you can see the last time your engine software was actually flashed. So I had this vehicle taken to Audi, and they updated the software on April 28th, which, as you can see right there, is correct. So far so good in terms of information. It's picking it up correctly, and that's definitely awesome to see. But other than that, you know, you have your regular service. And it turns out for my particular vehicle, it's not supported. So that's okay. Not the greatest actually, but so in terms of coding on my particular vehicle, this only has 3 ECUs that can be read, which is okay. So yeah, it's not the greatest in terms of how much coding is allowed through this. But because you have access to the KSG and some other stuff, you can do some coding, but it's not as extensive as what's allowed in the OBD 11 application that I use. I think that one's slightly better. Then you have other OBD functions, and this basically gives you the temperatures, RPMs, vehicle speed, and a bunch of other information that you normally wouldn't have available to you unless you've modified your car to do so. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. I'm just going to add a few of these for those particular things. So this is kind of awesome. You can have your OBD adapter connected and then have it mounted onto an event or something, and then monitor that information if you need to. For example, if your car is more, track ready or something like that, you can potentially monitor some of that stuff from in here. Or if you just need to know because you've done some servicing, you can also come in here and take a look. But that's basically it. There's not a lot more than what the functionality that we've gone through. So it is kind of disappointing in terms of the grand scale of things. The OBD 11 adapter, I find, definitely has more features and things you can do with it, and it's definitely a lot more cost effective. So I'll be linking that video down below and definitely on the screen as well, so make sure to check that out. So that's basically it, guys. If you liked the video and the content that I had in the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up button, as well as comment down below on the actual device what you think of it, if you think you're going to be picking one up, and if it didn't work for you, why, and basically what was your alternative. In the past, I've also reviewed the OBD 11. It's a pretty similar application, but I like the way that the application is set up because it makes it a little easier for someone who is, maybe a beginner. But definitely check that out. I'll link the video down below as well as on the video itself. So that's basically it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to subscribe for more to come, and I'll see you next time. Today's video, I'm going to be showing you a pretty awesome ODB device. Now, this is meant for Volkswagen and Audi car users. So if you have a car